Lots of new information coming in, and it's going to be very interesting to see what the Hurricane Center does with that information at 5 o'clock this afternoon. The new information suggests that this hurricane may turn toward the north before landfall. The new computer models are coming in, and because we've seen successive runs the last few days where the timing has been pushed back a little bit as far as the landfall. The other day we were talking about Saturday night landfall, and now we're talking about Tuesday morning around sunrise. That delay is giving this hurricane a chance to look for a weakness in the high pressure system that's driving it eventually toward the west and a threat to south and central Florida. And the new computer models coming in this afternoon are suggesting that there will be a weakness in that high, and it may turn north before it becomes a significant threat to our area. Obviously a one to watch. We're going to talk about it more. I want to give you the latest coordinates. It's a little less than 600 miles away from South Florida. And wow, look at what the satellite looks like this afternoon. Well-defined eye, about 25 miles wide. The hurricane force winds and the tropical storm force winds are beginning to expand in this hurricane. That was expected. It was a very compact hurricane even yesterday morning, and now those tropical storm force winds stretch out over 100 miles from the center, and it's well protected in all quadrants. There's no dry air. A little dry air you can see on the western side, but that'll be short term. That's nothing significant. Whenever you see the greens and the blues trying to, the little dry slot as we call it, try to work toward the eye, that's an area that we keep an eye on because it could offer up a little bit of weakening, or at least keeping the hurricane strength at bay. At the present time, 115-mile-an-hour winds, and the track Category 3, eventually taking it to a Category 4. Here's the forecast track into Saturday evening. So it's still west of the Bahamas and headed toward the northwestern Bahamas, where we have watches in effect at the present time. 130-mile-an-hour winds, that's Sunday morning, Category 4. And still intensifying heading into Monday, 8 a.m. It's very near or just to the north of Grand Bahama. Keep in mind there's an error cone here, so we can see a track to the north or to the south, but that's the down the line track, and it has incredible Category 4 hurricane eventually making landfall in our viewing area. That would happen Tuesday roughly around sunrise. This point right here is inland, and that's why it's dropped down to a 3 at that point. But we are looking at a landfall of a major hurricane with a high likelihood in our area at the current time. But the computer models are coming in this afternoon, and they're suggesting some changes may be on the way for the 5 o'clock advisory. And then weakening quickly. You'll notice there is a big turn here. It pushes up along the spine of Florida, cutting across Orlando, and then eventually working up toward Jacksonville. I guess the easiest way to explain what's happening with the latest computer model runs is that turn is happening a little sooner, and it's bringing this track. There's the official forecast right there. That's the 11 a.m. And a lot of the new model runs are making that turn right at or before the coast. So that is very encouraging. And I suspect what will happen here at 5 o'clock is that we'll see that turn a little earlier on the official forecast too. The wind field, impressive. Tropical storm force winds on the current thinking would be spread across our entire viewing area. That's 39 miles an hour stronger. That would be into Sunday night and Monday, with that peak wind on Tuesday. So you can see our tropical storm force wind probabilities are sky high, almost 100% in the area. So big changes, at least in the computer models, not in the official forecast. And I want to bring in James Whelan. We've been watching this during the afternoon. James, I guess cautiously optimistic, but as we both know, the Hurricane Center, they like trends. They don't like just one model run.
Right, we'll have to see if this is going to be a consistent thing, but what this has done is kind of opened up a door or so, a new possibility of a door opening here. Again, it's just a possibility. It could stay on the same exact track or anywhere in that error cone there, but this little possibility that popped up today is partly because the storm has taken so long to get here. Remember, initial landfall was supposed to be Saturday night. We've now pushed that 2 days prior. So that building high I talked about, now going the other way. It's weakening, and it has time to break down some and allow a little trough to pull it up. And that will allow maybe a path to stay offshore. So this big high out here, remember I said there was a strengthening high. Well, now we're going the other way. It's weakening because we're 2 days later than initially thought, and that in turn may have this door open here with this trough swinging down, and it could curve just before Florida. Still, the possibility will be there that it could curve over Florida like the current track is showing, but we'll definitely keep an eye on this to see if it does turn into a trend.